I left Sri Lanka in 1958. It was an important year for us. It was important for me. I was born in the 1930s, not even in Jaffna, outside Jaffna, in a small village. The whole world was for me that village. Opposite our house was a Sinhalese family. The Sinhalese community in Jaffna were carpenters and mechanics. They were very skilled. We learned all our science from them. This particular family had 3 boys, like ours. Either they were at their house or they were in our house playing cricket, athletics or something. They spoke fluent Tamil. On Vesak days, we all made lanterns and went to the Buddhist temple. I lived in Jaffna and travelled into Palau. And to me it was all our country. Of course we were conscious of our different communities. Us, the Sinhalese, the Burghers, the Muslims. Muslims we thought were Tamils also because they spoke Tamil. In 1955, I was recognized as a sportsman. That year, I was named the sports star of the year. 56 also, I was named the sports star of the year. First, it was Prime Minister John Kothalawala who gave me the trophy, and then it was Bandar. I was training in Colombo. We were all living near Victoria Park in a Sinhalese family. About 10 of us, boys, Sinhala, Tamil, all students. During this time, the Sinhala only bill was being discussed in the park. nothing about politics, only sports. But then, one day somebody said, there is a satyagraha by Federal Party in the Gulf. Three of us went on one bicycle. We got to go off this. There were lots of people shouting, throwing things. We were very curious. You know how teenage boys can be curious. There was a dispensary there. We parked our bicycle against the wall, stood and watched. I have never seen a crowd like that. So violent, so violent. But we stayed close to it. We could not tear our eyes from this. We stayed close to this person. 3 men passed by us. The first, the second, then suddenly, Golan Demalada, Demalada. I turned. My friends have answered in single. I don't know why they him. The man pointed his finger in my face. I could only speak Tamil. I didn't open my mouth. He came at me, caught me, raised me, and rose. He blinked, lowered me, blinked again. Then he was pulling me towards the dispensary and shouting to the owner. I didn't know what he was saying. We were dragged into the back room, the storeroom, shouting, and the door banged shut. We were kept there. It was safe. He had recognized me. This fellow who tried to hit me had recognized me from the papers. Must have been a sportsman. So there we were, 3 young sportsmen in that dark room, wondering what the devil had just happened. Why had we denied our origins? That struck me, that pained me. I vowed I will never again deny my origin path. That was 1956. That was also the year I participated in the Olympic Games. And after that, I went on for training to US. 2 years later, 1958, was the Asian Games. Now I was best in Asia. There was another Japanese athlete with me. All my performances were being monitored by the newspapers. So I didn't even think about the Asian Games selection. I knew I was in the team. But then, suddenly, my brother wrote to me and told me, "You are not selected for the Asian Games. You are not selected for the Asian Games." I was really confused, surprised. From America, I wrote to the AA. They wrote back saying that they had a list and I was at the bottom. So I wrote to one of the sport reporters. And then I wrote to the AA secretary. Nice man. He replied back, "This is the list," he said. He didn't say sorry or anything like that. He didn't give me an explanation. I then wrote to the Olympic Committee. I didn't know anyone in the Olympic Committee, but I thought they would understand. But the Olympic Committee also said I was not selected. That was it. The team for the Asian Games left without me. I was so confused, so angry. But then, looking back, these things are so fun. Then from there, suddenly the manager writes to me asking me to come immediately. They wanted me to take part. It was 4 days before my event. I had to rush. By the time I booked and arrived, it was 2 days before the event. And I had to compete the next day. I participated. I won the event. It was a happy time. I was happy to finally be with my team. We had all trained together. None of them had a chance of winning a medal, but we were all friends. Then the ambassador visited me. He was a very nice man, an old-time gentleman. I still have his card. He brought me a telegram from Prime Minister Bandar. He shook my hand, and I remember we didn't say much. He seemed a little distant. I didn't understand. But it was all very nice. We had won a gold medal, and we were to go to Japan for another international event there. But then suddenly, the manager told us the team had to return to Colombo. I could not understand. I challenged him. Why? This was a chance in a lifetime for our athletes. Perhaps they could win some medals. But he refused. He was the superintendent of police. And he was also in charge of us. He didn't offer an explanation. He didn't counter my arguments. He simply said, No. So I sent a telegram to the committee in Sri Lanka. I was captain. Now, I had not even been in the list who was selected, but captain. Such things. Anyway, a telegram came back. The manager makes the decisions. Please talk. They told me to go by myself. The rest of the team was to return. So once again, that was not. I went by myself to Japan to compete. My team returned. I did my best in Japan. We were all young sportsmen. It was a new world, you know. And then, when I was there in Japan, my brother sent me a paper cutting from Sri Lanka. It was about my selection and my medal. And in the same paper, there was another paper. There had been riots in Sri Lanka. Riots against the Tamil people. 1,500 injured and 300 killed. As you look at this, everything clicked. Everything. How the AA secretary of the selection committee and the ambassador, I have met him many times after that, and he never said anything about this. He remained how he had to survive. How they all had to abide. The Olympic committee had to abide. Everyone had to abide. It was the fierce psychosis at that time. It was then that I understood why our manager had taken the team back to Sri Lanka. He was the superintendent of police. He had to return to coordinate the evacuation of the Tamils, put them in ships to gather. He had to return to do his job. And this is why the team had to return. But he did not tell that to the team or to me. He did not tell us that there was riots going on. I was the captain of the team. The superintendent knew what was happening. The ambassador knew. But then, how could they tell a Tamil medal winner, your people are being beaten and killed? I would fault them for not getting. I don't fault them. That would have upset the whole thing. They played it. They played. If I was a singer, maybe the manager could have told me. But he didn't. So he played. I mean, looking back, I don't. I don't hold a He knew what was happening even before the event. So I don't know why he didn't tell me. I can't blame him. But whatever he did, it was good. Because I came there for a job and we were focused on that. I had to win the match. So I don't. That's left to be. I'm sure he thought that it would upset the team and then there would be some, because he had to return to do the job. But it was only afterwards I knew he had to coordinate the whole thing. He had to evacuate the camps. Anyway, as I was saying, 58 was an important year for me. I left the country, I moved on. Sometimes if my team I don't think they were so I still have that medal somewhere. I still have it. My grandchildren like it more than I do. This whole thing makes me think about my first train ride in Colombo from here. It was in 1947. I noticed that from Jaffna to Anuradhapura, everybody was talking and shouting and were joking. After Anuradhapura, there was a sudden change. The only thing I could observe was that the Sinhalese had got into the country. It didn't strike me that much on the way out, but when coming in. Coming back into Jaffna, everybody was quiet. And the moment we left Anuradhapura, everyone was free. That was a very strange experience. Now I only travel by AC train to Jaffna. So there, everybody just sits. It doesn't matter who they are, they just sit. There is no big talking or shouting or laughing like in those days. Everybody is traveling to some place alone. That's how life